Do you remember that feeling? Racing home from school, dropping your bag by the door, and switching on the telly before your mom even had a chance to ask about homework. The screen would flicker to life, and suddenly you were pulled into a world of color, characters, and stories that felt like pure magic. For anyone who grew up in the UK, childhood just wouldn't have been the same without those unforgettable shows that shaped our evenings and weekends. Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane, looking at 10 classic British TV shows that glued kids to the screen. Kicking things off at number 1, we have Blue Peter. Every British child of the 1960s, 70s and 80s remembers Blue Peter. It wasn't just a show, it was an institution, a part of the national fabric. From the thrill of making ambitious craft projects out of cereal boxers and sticky-back plastic to the legendary Blue Peter badge, it brilliantly blended fun with learning. Generations grew up with presenters who felt like family, guiding us through adventures, challenges, and amazing facts about the world. It's still around today, which is a testament to its legacy. But for many of us, those golden years hold a special, irreplaceable magic. Next up, a character that brings a warm, fuzzy feeling to anyone who remembers him back. The saggy, old cloth cat captured hearts throughout the 1970s with his sleepy pink and cream stripes. He was always there in his shop to fix the broken things brought in by Emily. The slow, gentle pace and the warm, comforting narration made you feel like you were being tucked in. For a bedtime story, remarkably, only 13 episodes were ever made, but their impact was immense, leaving a mark that's still remembered with so much love and affection. Just thinking about him makes you feel a little bit sleepy and content. At number 3 is a show that broke the mold. Grange Hill. First airing in 1978, Grange Hill was bold, real, and refreshingly honest. Unlike most kids' shows of the time, it didn't shy away from serious topics. It tackled bullying, peer pressure, and the everyday struggles of school life head-on for kids all across the UK. It was probably the first time television actually felt like their world, reflecting their own experiences. The show ran for decades, completely shaping how school life was portrayed on British screens and paving the way for more realistic teen dramas. Remember Zamo? Of course you do. Coming in at number 4, let's take a trip to a very surreal little village with the magic roundabout, with its quirky cast of characters like Dougal the dog, Florence, Brian the Snell, and the spring-loaded Zebedee. The magic roundabout was both whimsical and a little bit mysterious. Airing in the 60s and 70s, it had a unique stop-motion animation style that really stood out from the crowd. The storytelling was simple, yet it had this dreamlike quality that fascinated kids and, famously, a lot of adults too. Even today, hearing Zebedee's catchphrase, "Time for bed," instantly brings a wave of pure, unadulterated nostalgia. Who could forget this colorful crew? At number 5, Jeffrey, Zippy, George, and Bungal from Rainbow. Rainbow was a vibrant explosion of music, puppets, and laughter, running from the 1970s all the way into the 90s. It was a staple of afternoon TV. The show taught children about kindness, sharing, and the power of imagination, all through catchy songs and silly antics. The dynamic between the characters, especially Zippy's loud-mouthed mischief and George's gentle nature, was comedy gold for a 5-year-old. It was a true after-school favorite that brought joy to millions. At number 6, we have the original Eco Warriors, living in their burrow under Wimbledon Common. The Wombles were all about reusing and recycling long before going green was a global trend. Their motto, "Make good use of bad rubbish," was revolutionary. Their incredibly catchy theme tune and their adventures in tidying up made children believe in a secret, charming world just beneath their feet. The show was funny, charming, and quietly taught a generation about responsibility for their environment. The Wombles may be gone from our TV screens, but their message feels more timeless and relevant than ever. All aboard for number 7. Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Launched in 1984, the original series had a very special narrator, none other than the Beatles' own Ringo Starr. The little blue engine and his friends on the island of Shadow weren't just toys. They were the heroes of childhood. With its beautiful, intricate model sets and gentle, moral-driven storytelling, it became one of Britain's most beloved cultural exports. For kids, every journey, whether it was dealing with troublesome trucks or a breakdown on the line, felt like a grand and important adventure. It was simple, earnest, and utterly captivating. Number 8 takes us back to one of the originals, starting way back in 1964. Play School was one of the BBC's very first shows, made specifically for preschool children. It felt like an invitation into a warm, safe playroom. Every single day, through its famous windows, the round one, the square one, or the arched one, it opened up a world of stories, films, and imagination. The mix of songs, puppets like Humpty and Jemima, and simple games made it feel both homely and exciting. Many of Britain's greatest presenters got their start here, making it an unforgettable part of growing up for both children and their parents. At number 9 for kids of the 70s and 80s, Saturday mornings meant one thing. This was television unplugged. It was chaotic, messy, and absolutely hilarious, full of slapstick comedy, flying custard pies, and crazy sketches. It was the definition of anarchic fun. Hosted by the legendary Chris Duran, along with Sally James, Lenny Henry, and the Phantom Flanflinger. It made sure no one, not the presenters, not their guests, and not even the studio audience stayed clean for long. It was unlike anything else on TV. Wild, unpredictable, and utterly, unforgettably brilliant. And finally, at number 10, we have a character who delivered more than just letters. Postman first aired in 1981. Postman Pat brought us gentle, heartwarming stories of life in this small, idyllic village with his faithful black and white cat, Jess, by his side. Pat was more than just a postman. He was a friendly face, a pillar of the community who solved little problems in a big-hearted way. The simple stop-motion animation and the cheerful, hummable theme tune made kids feel safe, happy, and cozy. It remains one of the most enduring and beloved British children's shows ever made. From saggy old cloth cats and recycling wombles to little blue engines and flinging flans, these shows weren't just entertainment. For so many of us, they were a fundamental part of growing up in the United Kingdom. They gave us comfort on rainy days, laughter when we needed it most, and gentle lessons that we still carry with us today. Which one of these shows do you remember best? Was your favorite on the list? Drop your best loved show in the comments below, and let's keep those brilliant memories alive. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell for more nostalgic content. Because sometimes the very best stories are the ones we grew up with. See you next time.